Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shiur.
Shalom Bracha, welcome back to today's Daf Yomi Brachos Daf Nunvav. Right on top of the Amud, it says the Gemara, Amarle Caesar, the Caesar who was the Roman king, he turned to Rabbi Shua ben Chananya and he told him as follows. Rashi explains they were in the middle of a battle with the Persians. So the Romans and the Persians were in the middle of the battle, and the Caesar turned to Rabbi Shua ben Chananya and said, Amrisu, you claim the Chakmisu Tuva, that you are exceedingly wise. If so, Emily, come tell me, my chazina b'chalmai, what am I going to see tonight in my dream? Amarle, so Rabbi Shua told him, Chazis, you know what you're going to see? You're going to see the Meshachri lach parsoi, that the Persians will come capture you and put you to work for their king. V'garbi they'll rob you, they'll grab you. V'rayibach, and they'll pasture with you. They're going to force you to pasture shikti, unclean animals. Some say these were chazir, swine. So you're going to be the raya, the shepherd of the swine. B'chosher the dahava, with a golden staff. Okay? Hirer kol yoyim, so the Caesar thought about it the entire day. Ula orta, and indeed in the evening, chaza, he saw this dream. So as a result of, this is a rendition of his earlier thoughts throughout the day, as we learned in yesterday's daf, that a person is shown during the night a vision which encompasses the experiences of the previous day. So the Persian king, Shmuel Malka, turned to Shmuel and he said, Amrisu, you claim, the Chakmisu Tuva, you're very wise. If so, Emily, tell me, my chazina b'chalmai, what am I going to see in my dream tonight? Amarle, so Shmuel told him, you're going to see chazis, the osurei moi, that the Romans will come, v'shavalach, they'll take you into captivity, v'tachni bach kashyaisa, and they will use you to grind the pits of the dates. So you'll grind these items berechayat dahava, in a golden grinder. Here kol yamis, he thought about it the entire day. Ula orta chazar, indeed at night he saw it in his dream. Continues the Gemara, Bar Hedya mafshar chal mihava. There was a person called Bar Hedya who was a dream interpreter. Now Tosfos and Nunheim base points out that this ability to interpret dreams is not based on chachma, on wisdom, but rather it is simply based on the point in time that a person was born, the mazel that was prevalent at that point in time when the person was born, that endows him with the ability to interpret dreams. So it's a mazel thing, and Bar Hedya was one of these fellows who was a mafshir chalma hava. He was a dream interpreter. Now his modus operandi was as follows: Man diyavli agra, whoever paid him his fee, mafshir mal yusa, he would interpret his dream in a positive light, in a positive manner. He told him there would be good stuff coming. But if one did not give him his fee, in turn, Bar Hedya was mafshir le'legurisa. He would interpret the dream in a negative light. Says the Gemara, Abaye v'Rava chazu chelma. Abaye and Rava both saw a dream, and they approached Bar Hedya for interpretation. Abaye yoyv le'zuzah. Abaye gave him the fee, gave him a zuz. V'Rava lo yoyv le. Rava didn't give it to him. So they proceeded as follows: Amri le akrinan bechelmen. They dictate to us in our dream the following pasuk: Sharcha tavoch leinecha, and the pasuk includes, your ox will be shecht in front of you, and you will not eat from it. How are you going to interpret this dream that we both dreamt? So Bar Hedya turned to Rava and he said, LaRava amar le persid iskach, your merchandise will get ruined. And you won't have the appetite to eat as a result of your sadness. So that's what the pasuk meant. Sharcha tavoch leinecha, you won't have the appetite to eat. La Abaye, to Abaye who gave him the fee. So interpret it in a positive sense. Amarle marvach iskach, your merchandise will be successful, your business will prosper. And you won't have the appetite to eat anymore. As a result of your happiness, your state of happiness, of excessive happiness, won't allow you to eat. You won't have an appetite. So you interpret it to one in a negative way and to the other one in a positive way. They proceeded to tell him, Amrile Akrinan, we had the following dream. Banim ubanis toiled. We read the following pasuk. Banim ubanis toiled. Perhaps this was a different night that they dreamt this dream. And the pasuk continues. Banim ubanis toiled. V'lo yelecha ki yelchu bashevi. So this is the pasuk that we dreamt. L'Rava amalei kivishusei. To Rava, he interpreted in a negative sense. Kivishusei, in accordance with the latter part of the pasuk that describes a tragedy. You will have children, and they will be yours no longer. You won't have them anymore. Because they'll go into captivity. So to Rava, he interpreted the dream in accordance with the tragedy described in the pasuk. La'Abaye, however, Amalei banach menasach nafishi, you will have many sons and daughters. Uminsabach bintach la'alma, uminsabach bintach la'alma, and your daughters will marry other people. Umidamne ba'apach, and that will make it appear in your eyes. K'dachka'azlam b'shivya, they'll marry men, and it will appear to you, will have a resemblance, as though your daughters went out into captivity. So he interpreted him again in a positive sense. You will have sons and daughters, and they will go into captivity, meaning they will get married off. They proceeded to tell him, Akrayan, we were dictated in our dreams the following pasuk: Banecha b'nesecha, your sons and daughters, nesunim l'amacha, will be given to another people, to another nation. How are you going to interpret this dream? So Bar Hedi responded, La'Abaye Amalei, to Abaye he said, Bincha, bitcha, bintecha, nefishin. You will have many sons and daughters. Now it will come time to marry them off. You're going to have a machlegis with your wife. At amers lekrivach, you will suggest that they marry your relative. Vi amr lekriva, and she will say, no, they should marry my relative. Va'akfalacha, and she will coerce you, she will convince you. V'yahavis lain lekriva, and you will marry them off to her relatives. The Havikam Acher will appear to you like another nation, like a different Am. So this is in a positive sense. You have sons and daughters, you will marry them off successfully. L'Rava Amarle, however, to Rava, he interpreted as follows: Dvisu Shchiva, your wife will die. Va'asu Baneo B'nasel De'itzachriti, you will remarry, and the sons and the daughters of the first wife will come under the care of the second wife. The Amar Rava, Amar V'yimar Ba'ab Amarav. My dechsiv, Banecha B'nasech Nesulim Amacher. What does it mean? Your sons and daughters will be given over to a different nation. To Eisha Sa'av. This is a stepmother. So to Rava, he interpreted it in a negative sense. Your wife will die, you're going to remarry, sons and daughters will be placed under the care of the stepmother, which is akin to a foreign nation. It's not their natural mother. So again, he interpreted it in a negative sense to Rava. All because he didn't give him the zuz. Continues the Gemara, Akrinan b'chelmen. So Abaye Rava again approached Bar Hedya. We were dictated in our dream the following pasuk: Leich echol b'simcha achmecha, go eat in with simcha, with gladness, your bread. La'Abaye Omerle, marvach iskach, va'achles v'shasis v'karis psukim echad v'libach. Your business, your merchandise will be successful. Your business will boom. Marvach iskach, and you will eat and drink. V'chalta v'shasisa v'karisa psuka, and you'll read this pasuk mechad v'libcha as a result of the gladness in your heart. This pasuk, which describes having a meal in happiness, this will certainly be applied to you to its full extent. However, l'Rava Amarle pasid iskach, your merchandise will get ruined, your business will fail, and as a result, tovachta v'lo yachalta v'shesisa, you will slaughter your animal, but you won't have the appetite to eat and drink. V'karisa psuka, and you will read this pasuk of Leich echol b'simcha achmecha. You will read this pasuk in order to alleviate yourself, l'fchuchi pachtecha, to relieve yourself of your anxiety. Mashal explains that they came to Bar Hedya and they told him that this pasuk, we were reading this pasuk. So to Abaye he said, yeah, you're going to read this pasuk out of happiness. To Rava he said, you're going to read this pasuk in order to alleviate yourself of your anxiety as a result of your failure in your business. Akrinan, they read to us in our dream the following pasuk: Zera Rav Teitzia Sada, you will bring out a lot of seeds to the field to plant. L'Abaye Amalei Mireishe. To Abaye he interpreted based on the first part of the pasuk. Yes, you'll have an abundance of seeds to plant in your fields. However, L'Rava Amalei Miseifa. To Rava, he focused on the second part of the pasuk, which says, Zera Rav Toitzi Asada. Yes, you will take out an abundance of seeds to plant, but the result will be Uma'at Te'esoif. You will harvest very little. So to Rava, he interpreted it based on the second part of the pasuk. Akrinan, they read to us, Zeisim Yilucham Chol Gvelecha. You will have olive trees in your properties, in your boundaries. L'Rabaye Omalei Mereisha. To Abaye he interpreted based on the first part of the pasuk. You will have an abundance of these olive trees. However, to Rava, his interpretation was based on the second part of the pasuk. L'Rava Amalei Miseifa. According to the description described in the latter part of the pasuk, which says, Zeisim Yilucham Chol Gvelecha. Yes, you will have olive trees, but V'sheman Lo Yisasach, and you won't come to use the oil Ki Yishal Zeisecha, because your crop will fail. Your trees will discard their produce, and you won't have the olives to anoint yourself. Continues the Gemara, Akrinan. So Abaye and Rava proceeded and told them, they've read to us the following pasuk in our dream. V'ro Klam Ya'oretz. The nations of the land, of the earth will see that Kishem Hashem Nikra Alecha V'yor Memecha, they will have fear from you. How do you interpret this pasuk? Abaye. To Abaye, his interpretation went as follows: Amalei Nafek Loshma. You will become famous. Your name will go out the Reish Mesifta Avos, because you're going to become the Reish of the yeshiva. A Mascha Naflas Ba'alma, and you all will fall in the world. Meaning, everybody will have reverence for you on account of your prestigious position as the Reish of the Mesifta. So that's what the pasuk means. Everybody will see that Hashem's name is Shem Hashem Alecha V'yor Memecha. They will have awe and fear, reverence of you. However, the Rava Amarle, B'daina de Malka Itvar, the treasury of the jewels of the king, will have a break-in. U'mitvas beganvi, and they will catch you. They will arrest you, suspect you Rava, of being the thief. And as a result, says the Gemara, B'daini kula alma kavachayim minach. Everybody will derive a kavachayim. They will say, if this could happen to Rava, that he is arrested and charged with a baseless charge, certainly an ordinary person, the regular folk, certainly we have what to fear of, that perhaps they will charge us as well with this baseless accusation. So that's what it means. Everybody will see what happened to you. They will have fear as a result of your arrest. In fact, says the Gemara, this came true. Lamachar, tomorrow, Itbar B'daina de Malka, the treasury of the king was broken into. V'asu v'tafsil Rava, and they came and they grabbed and they arrested Rava. Continues the Gemara, what else did they tell Bahardia? Amrilei Chazon, we saw a chasa, a lettuce, apum dani, on top of the keg of the barrel. La'abayi Amrilei ayif iskach chasa. To Abayi said, your merchandise, your business will double, will multiply like the lettuce that doubles and multiplies. L'Rav Amalei Mar Iskach Chichasa, your merchandise will be bitter like lettuce. Amalei, they told him, Chazan Bisra Pumdani, we saw meat on top of the barrel. La'abaye Amalei, Tabaye, he interpreted as follows: Basim Chamrach, your wine will be of high quality. Abaye and Rabba were both wine merchants, it appears. So your wine will be of good quality, will taste good. Everybody will come running to buy wine and meat from you. L'Rav Amarle Takiv Chamrach, your wine will spoil, will turn into vinegar, and as a result, everybody will come to Mizban Bisra to buy meat, to eat together with this spoiled wine. So they won't be able to drink it as is. They'll need to supplement it with the meat to cover up for the spoiled taste of the wine. Amarle, they told him, Chazan Chavita, the Torah B'dikla, we saw a barrel hanging up on the palm tree. L'Abaye, to Abaye, he said, Amarle, Midli Iska Chadikla. Your merchandise, your business will rise up, will hang up like a palm tree. It will rise, it will be prominent and valuable. L'Rava, he said, Amalei choli iskach katamri, your wine will be sweet, like dates. And we know that wine which is sweet is not considered to be the highest quality. Amalei, they told him, Chazan, we saw Rimana, the Katcha Pumdani, pomegranates growing on top of the barrel. L'Abaye Amalei, Abaye said, Ashik iskach kiramuna. Your merchandise will be as expensive, will be of high value, like the pomegranates. However, l'Rav Amalei, Kavi iskach kirumna, your wine will be tart, like the pomegranates, and everybody's going to despise it. Amalei, they told him, Chazan Chavisa Nafal Bira, we saw a barrel which fell into the pit. Abaye Amalei, mitbi iskach, your merchandise will be so sought after. K'da Amar, like people say, Nafal Pita Bira, the bread fell into the pit, V'lo yishtaka, and we couldn't find it. So everybody's going to look for your merchandise. It's going to be so popular. L'Rava, however, he said, Amalei pasid iskach, your merchandise will get spoiled and ruined, V'shadilei b'labira, and they'll throw it into the pit because it's worthless. Amalei, so they told him, Chazinan, we saw Bar Chamar, young donkey, the Koya Isadan, who is situated above our heads, V'noyer, and is braying. La'abaye Amalei, Malkav, you will become the Rosh HaYeshiva, V'koya Amoyer Allah, and the interpreter, the one that announces your words to the public, will be standing next to you. So that's the mashal of the braying of the donkey. So this implies a prominent position where you're going to give the drasha, and you will have the maturgaman who will go ahead and announce your words to the public. L'Rav Amalei, Peter Chamar goit mitchilascha. The word Peter Chamar is erased, was erased from your tefillin. Amalei, so Rav said, that cannot be so. I saw the tefillin, and it's actually there. It wasn't erased. Amalei says, okay, if not the entire words, Vav the Peter Chamar, Vada goit mitchilascha. The Vav of Chamar is meant to be written without a Vav in the Parsha of tefillin. So what happened was that the Sefer had mistakenly written the Vav, but then he went ahead and erased it. So the Vav was erased from its film. What is the significance of the Vav being erased? And Farshim say that the Gemara tells us in Rosh Hashanah that Abaye was Osak in Torah and Gemilas Chasadim. Rava was only Osak in Torah. Whatever that means, he didn't focus and concentrate as much on Gemilas Chasadim as much as Abaye did. So they were hinting him in the dream, that the Vav is like a pillar which holds up the poor man. It is the concept of chesed, of upholding and supporting our fellow Jews. So the Vav was erased from his film on account of him perhaps not focusing enough on Gemilas Chasadim. Okay, so this was the end of this segment. It's not clear in the Gemara whether all this took place in one shot or it was different various dreams that took place different nights. In any case, the Gemara continues and says, "Soif." Eventually, Rav himself went to Barhedia without Abaye. Amalei, and he told him as follows: "Chazoi dasha b'raisa denafel." I saw the door, the outside door of the house, fell down. Amalei, so Barhedia told him, you know what this means? Ishtecha shachva, your wife is going to die. Amalei, Rav told him, "Chazoi kucha v'shini denasir." I saw my teeth, the inside teeth, the molars, and the regular teeth fell out. Kachi is the inside teeth, the molars, Vishani, the ordinary teeth, they fell out. Amalei told him, you know what this means? Bincha ubintach shachvan, your sons and daughters will die. Amalei, Rabbi told him, Chazoi tarti yoni de parchan, I saw two doves, which are flying. Amalei trei nashi megarshis, you're going to divorce two wives. As Rashi says, a yoni dove resembles one's wife. So you're going to let them go and fly away. You're going to be megarish them. Amalei, Rava told him, Chazoi tregir galidi, the lift, I saw two heads of turnip in my dream. Amalei told him, train kufi balas, you're going to absorb two blows with a club that has the head of the club is round and broad and round like the head of the turnip. Says the Gemara, Azal Rava. When Rava heard this, Azal Rava, that day he went, and he went into the Beis HaMedrash the entire day. He figured perhaps he'll be spared the blows. Says the Gemara, what happened? He saw these two blind men, these two blind people, who were having a fight. Also, Rava for Kinu, Rava went there to separate them. Umachul Rava Trey. And they gave him 2 blows with the club. They picked up the club, to give him another one. Amar, so Rava told him, wait. Mistaye, it's enough. Don't add a 3rd one. Trey Chazoi. I only saw 2 blows in my dream. Therefore, you've already fulfilled my dream. It's come true. You don't need to add a 3rd one. Says in Malasoif, eventually, Asa Rava Yavla Agra. Rava indeed gave him his fee. Amarle, so Rava told Barhedia, now, Chazoya Shisa Denafal, I saw that the wall fell down, the wall of the home. Amarle, Nechasem B'lei Mitzrayim Kanisa. You're going to buy properties boundless, without boundaries. Actually, he says, Karkos Rechavim V'Rabim, many, broad and many properties. So now he interpreted it in a positive light because he gave him the fee. Rava told Barhedi, I saw the home of Abaye that fell down. Apadna is generally a reference to a larger type home. So it fell down, Vikasi and Afke, and I was covered up by the dust of the collapse. So Barhedi told him, you know what this means? Abaye will pass away. And his yeshiva will be transferred to you. You will be the Rosh Yeshiva. Amalei Rava told him, Chazoy Apadna Dididinafal, my Apadna fell down, my home. And I saw that Ba'asikul Alma, everybody came by, Shakal Levinta, they were carrying away the bricks. What does this mean? Amalei, so Barhedi told him, no, it's good. Shmaitzach, your teaching, your Torah, Mevadron Ba'alma will become spread throughout the world. That is the symbolization of everybody coming to take the bricks. They will benefit from your Torah. Amalei, he told him, Chazoy, I saw my dream, the Afgareshi, my head was split, Venasar Maikri, and my brain dropped out. Amalei, don't worry about it. It simply means that Udrun Beit Sadi Nafik, the filling from Beit Sadi, from your pillow, will come out. No room for concern. Amalei, he told him, Akruy and Halal Mitzrah. They read to me the Halal Mitzrah. Says Rashi, the Halal that we read on Pesach on account of the Neis of Yitzhak tribe. This is different than the Halal Hagadol, the Hoyd Lashem Ki Tegel Chazdai in Tehillim. So the Halal Mitzrayim, they read to me in my dream. Akriyuyon Halal Mitzrah Bechelma. They read to me the Halal of the Hashem. Amalei, you know what this means? This Mitzrach Shilach. A miracle will occur to you. Because, as Rashi says, the Chodesh Nisan, why is it called Nisan? Because of the Nisan, the miracles that occurred in that month. So the Halal that is recited on account of the Nisim, that symbolizes miracles. And indeed, a miracle will occur to you. Says the Gemara, Barhedi was accompanying Rava in a ship. Omar, now that he realized that a nace will occur to Rava, so he exclaimed, Omar Bahade Gavra, together with a person of Misrach Nisa, that a miracle will occur to him, Lamali. Why should I be together with him? Perhaps the miracle will occur right here. The ship will overturn, and he will be saved, and I won't. So let me quickly get out of his company. So he made a getaway, and the Gemara says, Bahade de Kasolik, when he was leaving, when he was getting off the ship, Nafal Sifra Minei, a sefer fell, he dropped a book, a handbook, a Chaloim handbook. It was a sefer that contained some hints, some instructions regarding dream interpretations. Ashkechei Rava found this book, V'chazan, he noticed. What was contained in this book? All dreams follow the words of the mouth. They are determined by the interpretation. If so, Rava's thinking to himself, all this was his interpretation. He could have chosen to interpret it differently. And now the dream will be activated, will follow the course that Barhedya has determined and set forth, which was a very negative course. Omar, so Rava exclaimed, and he said, Rasha, you're a wicked person, but the Doch Kaima was in your hands. It was your prerogative. You could have interpreted it in a positive light, and you chose not to do so. You caused me so much sorrow, so much pain. You know what? I forgive you about everything. except bar mibarti Rav Chizda, except for the fact that you've envisioned, you've interpreted, you've prophesied that my wife will die. He was married to the daughter of Chizda. Some say also bar mibarti, his children and his sons and daughters, and Rav Chizda, because he also mentioned that his children would die. So except for those things I cannot forgive you. Some Farshim say because the tzaddik is meichel on his own personal pain, but he cannot forgive on behalf of somebody else. Those things, the fact that you caused them to die, I can't forgive you for that. If so, Yehi Rava, it should be Hashem's will, the limsa gavra l'dei malchusa, that this person, Bar Hedya, should be handed over to the hand of the malchus of the king, who have no mercy on him. Farshim say, whoever wanted to save others from a similar fate, so he didn't want Bar Hedya to be able to continue practicing his profession. So Bar Hedya took it very seriously. He took this klala, this curse very seriously. Omar, he said, "My avid, what am I going to do?" Gemiri, we have a tradition, the kilas chacham, that the curse of a chacham, afilu b'chinamiba, even if it's baseless, if it's unjust, it is fulfilled and realized. The kolshkin, certainly Rava, the bedina kalayit, certainly the klala that came from Rava, that is just, it is justified. Omar, he said, Eikum ve'igla, I'll go into exile. The Omar, Mar, we know, goes machaperes ava in exile, atones for one's sins. Come, Golil be'Ramai, he went in exile to the Romans. Azal yasa pischa deresh terzina, he went and sat at the doorway of the guard of the king's wardrobe. The Reish Terzina the Malka. Says the Gemara story, Reish Terzina, Chaza Chalma. He also saw a dream. Amalais, he went to Bar Hedya. Chazoi Chalma, told him, I saw a dream. What did I see? I saw a vision. The ayel of Machtabetz Vasi. A needle went into my finger. Amalei, Hali Susa, give me my fee. Give me the coin. V'lo he refused. Lo Amalei Lamidi. Bar Hedya didn't respond. He didn't interpret his dream. Amalei. Next time he told him, I saw that a worm attacked two of my fingers. Amalei, so Bar Hedya says, what about the payment? Havli Zuzah, give me the Zuzah, v'lo yarvlei. So the person refused. If so, v'lo yarvlei v'lamidi. He didn't tell him anything. Amalei, so the next time he told him, I saw that the worm attacked my whole hand. What does this mean? What is the significance? It's getting worse and worse. Amalei, so Bar Hedya told him, you know what this means? Nafal tichla b'kuli shiroi. That a worm attacked b'kuli shiroi, all these silks of the king, his wardrobe was ruined. Says the Gemara, indeed that's what happened. And if so, Shami Bey Malka, they heard about this incident that everything got ruined in the king's palace, Vasyuler Shtuzina, and they brought this guard to kill him because he wasn't taking care of the clothing properly. Amar Lei, so he told him, no, Amai, why are you blaming it on me? Aisulahai, bring this fellow to Avayada. He knew what was going on. He didn't reveal it. So he's the one who's at fault. And Farshim say that it was his job to shake out the clothing, make sure there's no bugs. So ordinarily he did his job, but in this case it seems like it was a supernatural phenomenon. It happened so quickly from one day to the next to the next. So this is something I'm not responsible for. However, Bar Hedya, he was fully aware of what was going on. You should blame him for what happened. Indeed, Aisul Bar Hedya, they brought Bar Hedya, Amrulay, they told him, Amtu amatuzuza dedach, on account of your silly coin, Zuzah dedach, this coin of yours that you didn't receive, and therefore you refused to divulge the meaning of the dream. So they told him, Amalei amata zuzah dedach, on account of your zuz, chaver shiroi, the malka, the me'ilim, the cloaks of the king got ruined. If so, you deserve a punishment. Kfisu trein arzi bechavala, they tied together the two cedar trees with a rope. Asur chad kari lechad arzi, they took Bar Hedya and they punished him as follows. They tied one foot to one of the trees, v'chad kari, the other foot, lechad arzi, to the other tree, v'sharu lechavla, they let go, they released the rope, adid stalik reish, until he split up into his head. The trees flew back to their original position. V'stalik v'nafal train, and Bar Hedya got split up into two, all the way up to his head, and he fell down in two parts. So this was his punishment that he got from the king, and as a result of Rava's klala. Continues the Gemara, Shaul ben Dama, Ben Dama, who was Ben Achoisai, the nephew of Rabbi Shmuel, he asked Rabbi Shmuel the following question. How do I understand? How do I make sense of the following vision? I saw my dream. I saw two of my cheeks that fell down. Omar, so Rabbi Shmuel says, this is what it means. Two battalions in Rome, they plotted something against you, umesu, and they couldn't carry out their bad plans, they died. I saw my nose fell off. He told him, Hashem's anger was removed from you. Because as Rashi explains, the nose symbolizes anger. When a person gets angry, the breath in his nostrils heats up. So the nose that was dropped is a remes that the anger of Hashem was removed from you. It is there no more. Amalei, so he told him, two of my hands were cut off. Amalei, he told him, you know what this means? You will not need to work any longer. You will become wealthy. Amalei, he told him, my feet were cut off. Amalei, this means you'll be riding up on a horse. I'm going to die in Adar. I will not see Nisan. What does this mean? You will die with kavod, with hadar, with glory. That is the remez in the word Adar. And Nisan means that you will not come to temptation. So it's actually a positive message. This heretic, the Stuki, conveyed to Rabbi Shmuel the following visions that he saw in his dream. I am watering oil to the olives. What does this mean? Amar lei. So Shmuel told him, Baal imay. You've had relations with your mother. Rashi explains that Shemen is like the mother who produces the oil, the child. And this fellow who was watering was taking the oil and pouring into the zaysim. He was reversing the system. So this was a remez that Baal imay. Amalei, he told him, Chazoi, I saw the katav chaychva. I uprooted a star. Amalei, so Shmuel told me, you know what this means? Bar Yisrael ganafta, you've kidnapped a Jew. As Yisrael, anim shelu kechavim, the analogous to stars. Amalei, Chazoi, I saw the baalti lekoichva, the balati lekoichva. I swallowed a star. Amalei, he told him, by Yisrael zarvante, you've sold a yid, a Yisrael, v'achalt v'achlas l'dmei, and you've consumed the money. So that is symbolized in the fact that you swallowed the star, the Jew, the money which you received when you sold the Jew. Amalei, I saw chazoi eine denashkan adad. I saw the eyes, my eyes that are kissing each other. Amalei bala chaysai. You had hashish with your sister. You sin with your sister. As in Farshim say, the eyes that are lined up next to each other like a brother and sister. So this was the remez. Bala chaysai. Amalei told him, chazoi, I saw the nashkes here. I kissed the moon. Amalei, so Shmuel told him, you know what this means? Ba al eshes Yisrael. You've had relations with a eshes Yisrael, eshes ish. As the Farshim explain, that an eshes ish, a married woman, is equated to a moon. Just as the moon receives its light, receives its sustenance, its hashpah from the sun, a wife receives his makabel, her hashpah from her husband. So the fact that you are nashki siara, it symbolizes the fact that you bal eshes Yisrael. Amalei says, told the Rishmal Chazoy, I saw the Richna B'tur Da'asa. I stepped in the shadow of a hadas, of a myrtle. Amalei, notice, means Ba'al Na Marasa. You sinned with a Nara Marasa, with a girl who was engaged. Rashi explains, it was their custom to make a canopy, a chuppah of hadassim for the kala. So the fact that he saw that he was stepping into the shadow of the hadas symbolizes this thing. Amalei, he told him, Chazoi tunum eloi. I saw that the hadas was actually above me. What does that mean? It was above me, and I was underneath it. Amalei, he told him, Mishkaf chahafuch, that you had relations in reverse, you on bottom and she was on top. Amalei Chazoi urvid adar puri. I saw ravens, urvim, surrounding my bed. What does that mean? Amalei, he told him, Ishte chazinsa, your wife sinned me'anoshim harbe, with many men. Amalei Chazoi yoini adar puri. I saw doves surrounding my bed. What does that mean? Amalei noshim harbe timesa, you were metame, you had relations with many women which are symbolized with yoinim, a dove. Amalei told him, Chazoy de nakatre yoini, I'm holding 2 doves. Uparchan, and they're flying, but I'm holding on to them. So they're flying, but I'm still holding on to them. Amalei, you know what this means? Tarti nashin nafsis, you married 2 women, and you let them go without divorce. If atrisin, like get, you didn't give them a get. So they're let go, they're flying. They're trying to get away, but they can't completely get away. You're still holding on to them because you haven't given them a get. Amalei says, Stuki proceeded and says, Chazoy de kalifna bay. I see in my dream that I'm peeling eggs. Amalei, so Bishmal told him, Shechli kameshlachas, you're stripping dead people of their clothing. Amalei, so the Stuki said, 1 second. Kulu isnubi, you know what? Everything else that you said is indeed true. Except for this thing. Everything that you described is really accurate, except for this thing. I never stooped that low. Bar meha, the lessee, this one is not true. I don't undress dead people. Says the Gemara, as it was discussing this, Asya Itzah, this woman came along, and she said to him, Hai glima, this cloak, the machasa, the gavra, that this stuki is wearing, ploiniu, the maize, it belonged to that dead person, vashalchasa, and you removed it from him. So indeed, this was also true and accurate. Amarle, the Stuki proceeded and said, Chazoy, I saw my dream. The Amarle told me, Shavak lecha avuch nichsi. Bekaputke, your father left you nechasim assets in a place kaputke. Amarle, so Shmuel told him, Islach nichsi bekaputke. Do you have assets there? Amarle, lav, no. Azal avuch kaputke. Did your father ever travel there? Amarle, lav, no. In case that Shmuel, it must be, it's referring to something else. There's a remez, there's a hint here. Kaputka is a Rashi Tevos, an acronym, a combination of 2 words. Kaputka means kappa, means a kashur, a beam. Dika is 10, as Rashi says in Greek. But Lashon Yevani, Dika means 10. So what does this mean? The 10th beam. Zil Chazi, go take a look at Kafa, the Reish Asar, the 10th beam. Shimlei Zuz, it's full of gold, full of coins. Zil Chazi Kappa Deresh. So go look at the beam at the head of 10, meaning the 10th beam. Shimlei Zuz, full of zuzim. Hazil Ashkach, indeed, he went there and he found Shimlei Zuz, it's full of gold, it's full of coins. Amar Chanina Haroye Ber B'Chalaim. If one sees a vision of a well in his dream, Roye Shalom, he will see peace. It's a symbol of Shalom. Shenemar Vayachpru Ad Yitzchak Banachal. The slaves, the servants of Yitzchak, dug in the ravine. They found a well with fresh water, and the Mepharshim say actually there's a different girsa that it's referring to the final digging of the final well, where the pasuk says that Vayikru Shema Rechayvos. They called it Rechayvos because there was no more a conflict between the Royim of Yitzchak, the Avadim of Yitzchak, and the shepherds of Gerar. And they concluded and they said, and there was peace. Ultimately, there was peace. Marsha says that even this pasuk, which is referring to the first be'er that they dug, and which wasn't necessarily, didn't have a peaceful outcome, but ultimately, the end of the story was that it concluded with peace, and therefore a be'er, a well of Ma'im Chaim, is a symbol of Shalom. Rav Nasnaimer, a be'er is actually a symbol of Torah. He will acquire Torah, Matzah Torah, Shnamal Ki Moitzi, Matzah Chaim. One who finds me through Torah finds life. Uksiv Hacha, Be'er Ma'im Chaim. And this passage before says Be'er Ma'im Chaim. Explains Marsha, there are several things that are likened to water. Not only Torah, many other things. However, there's only one thing that is considered to be life, and that is Torah. So when we speak about Ma'im Chaim, living water, that is referring to Torah. Similarly, says the Gemara, that when one dreams about a be'er, a well, since the pasuk says be'er Ma'im Chaim, a well of living waters, it's referring to Torah, which is a living stream of water. So Rav Nassan says a be'er in a dream symbolizes Torah. Rav Amar Chaim Mamash, it symbolizes life itself. It will be zeicha to life. Omer Avchanan Shalish Shleimesein. There are 3 visions of peace. Nahar, a river. Tzipor, a bird. Ukeder, in a pot. So if one should see any of these 3 items in his dream, it is a symbol, a simon, a sign of peace. Nahar d'chsiv hinin noite eleh. I'm turning to it kinahar shalom, like a peaceful river. Tzipar, we find that tzipar is connected to shalom d'chsiv ketziparim avos keyogan Hashem tzvokos. So we see that birds have a positive connotation and they bring protection. Kedera epat d'chsiv v'Hashem Tishpei Shalom Lanu. Hashem, you should set forth the pot like a pot on a flame. Tishpei, you should set forth Shalom Lanu, peace to us. We're speaking about a pot that doesn't contain meat. Why? They will be sliced like the thing in the sear in the pot, or kavasa like meat, in the cauldron. So we see that a pot that contains meat is not necessarily a positive image. So we're speaking at a pot that doesn't contain any meat, and that is a symbol of peace. Now, I once saw a very interesting pshat that these three items, Nahar, Tzipor, and Kedera, symbolize peace in a progressive order. Nahar is a lower state of peace. It proceeds to a higher state of peace of Tzipor, and Kedera is the highest form of peace. Why is that? Because Nahar is a river traveling through the earth. So we have two entities that remain two entities. We have the land, the dry land. We have the river. They're two separate entities, but they live side by side peacefully. That is a very basic shalom. They remain separate. They're two, but they live side by side. They don't get into conflict. So that is a very, very basic form of shalom, symbolized in the Nahar. A step above that is the Tzipor, which has a double characteristic. It's a land animal. It walks on the ground. It has feet. And it also has the ability to fly in the air. So it has both abilities. It relates down to the earth and relates up to the air with its wings. It's a combination, it's a combined creature of earth and sky. So here we have the two entities combining together, joining together, working together in unison, in cooperation. That is a higher level of peace. The highest form of peace is symbolized in the kedera on the pot. Why? We take ingredients, we place it on the fire, and we add some water. So we take all these ingredients, the fire, the water, which are really two opposites, and they work in unison, they cooperate, and they produce a product which is an entity that combines all these powers into one entity. It's a synthesis. It's not two separate entities. It's a combined entity. This is the highest form of shalom. It's not merely like a Nahar, two separate entities working side by side, or like a Tzipor, where both entities remain separate, but they work together in harmony. It is a new entity, a cooked food, which is a new entity, a new Metzius, that combines all the various ingredients and elements and synthesizes and combines it into one entity. That is the true peace, the true coming together as one, the highest form of peace. If one sees a river in his dream, so here the Gemara will cite some examples of visions which carry a dual potential. It can be realized as something positive as well as something negative. So the Gemara teaches that if one sees any of these visions, he should quickly get up. When he gets on the one, he should quickly say the pasuk that puts it into the proper positive context before a pasuk that describes it in a negative context enters his mind. Says the Gemara, if one sees a river in his dream, he should hasten and say the pasuk of Hinini Noite Lev Kenar Shalom, which is a positive context. Before the other pasuk enters his mind, which describes a nar in a negative context. Kiyave Kenar Tsar, the enemy will come like a river. Proceeds the Gemara, Hashem will protect. So this is a positive sense. He should do it before the other pasuk arrives. Which says Ketzipor that's been caught like a bird which wanders away, so too a person wanders. It's not a positive connotation. A person sees a pot in his dream. Hashem should set forth peace for us. Hashem sets forth like a like a pot, and this is referring to the siege around Yerushalayim. So say the positive pasuk before the negative pasuk enters your mind. This way you will activate it and channel it in the positive direction. One sees grapes in his dream. Yashkim v'yoymar. He should say the positive pasuk kanovim b'midbar, that Hashem says, I found your parents. So this is a positive tense, a positive description of the grapes in the midbar. So you should say this pasuk before the other pasuk arrives, which says their grapes are bitter. One sees a mountain in his dream. How pleasant are the feet of the one that heralds, that one that brings up Surah of the Yeshua. Say this pasuk. On the mountains I will wail and weep. One sees a shofar. In Asad Lava Yitaka b'Sheva Gadol. So that's a positive context. Koydem before shekanen pasuk acher. Tikur shofar begiva. You call out with a shofar, blow with a shofar begiva, in anticipation of the enemy's arrival. A person sees a dog. Yashkim v'yoyim v'chol b'nei Yisrael leyechatz kelev v'shoynai. The dog will not sharpen his tongue and bark. He should say this pasuk. Koydem before shekanen pasuk acher v'klovim azay nefesh are brazen. Haroya Ari b'chalayim sees a lion. Yashkim v'yoymar Ari yishag m'layira. Before the other pasuk comes, Koydem shekaden pasuk acher Allah Ari misoifchay, which is the enemy will come and is nimshal like a lion. Haroya tiglachas b'chalayim. He sees he's getting a haircut in his dream. Yashkim v'yoymar yigalach v'yichalasim loisav. Yosef HaTzadik shaved and changed his clothing before he came to Paro. It was a positive setting. He should say this pasuk Koydem before shekaden pasuk acher. Im galachti v'sar many koichi. This is Shimshon saying, when I shave, my strength will ebb. Haroi be'er b'chalayim. One sees a well. Yashkim v'yoymar be'er ma'im chayim. Koydem shekaden pasuk acher. Ki yahakir bayer meimeo. Just like the well gives forth its water, so too you give forth your averis. So it's a negative context. Haroi kana b'chalayim. One sees a reed. He should say Yashkim v'yoymar kana rotzes le'yishaver. Even a broken, shattered reed will not break. You have falsely relied on this splintered, on this crushed reed. She's meant to activate his dream in a positive direction by citing the verse, which relates to the vision in a positive context. One sees a reed in his dream. The Mashal says it's referring to the letters of kana. He sees the word kana in his dream, because we said before that a person sees a kana in the actual reed, it's not necessarily something positive. He needs to channel it. Here the Gemara simply says he sees a kana, yitzapel chachma, he should anticipate attaining wisdom. So apparently here it's a little bit of different type of vision. He sees the word kana in his dream. Yitzapel chachma, he should anticipate acquiring chachma. Shenamar knei chachma, that kana is associated with chachma. If he sees kanim, many reeds, kanim is lashon rabim, more than one. The yitzapa lebina should anticipate understanding. Shnema b'chol kinyancha knei bina. Rashi says kinyancha is a lashon meruba, a plural term, and he'll be kaina bina understanding. Omar Zeder, kara, kura, kira, kanya. Any of these four items. Kara means he sees a pumpkin. Kura means he sees a shoot of a palm tree. Kira, wax. Kanya, a reed. Kulu malu lechelma. They're all beneficial in a dream. They're all positive if one sees it in a dream. Tanya, says the Gemara, we learned in Maran Deluin, they only show a vision of a pumpkin. Only one who fears Hashem with his whole might. As Rashi explains, Deluin is a remiss to Dolu Einai Lamaraim. Pick up your eyes heavenward, upward to Hashem. So it is referring to one who is a Yerushalayim Chol Koichai. If one sees a Roy Shor B'chalayim, he sees an ox, Yashkim v'yoymar, he should get up and say the pasuk B'chor Shor Hadaloi, the splendor of the Shor, which is a positive reference to the Shor. Koydin Shekadmen pasuk Acha, before the other pasuk enters his mind, which is a negative connotation. Kiyach sheres ish, if a ox gores a person. Five things are said regarding the vision of a shor in a dream. One who eats the basar, the meat of the shor in a dream, asher, he will become wealthy. Nachay, if the shor gores him, he will merit to have children that gore each other in Torah, that have debates, lively debates in the words of Torah. Nashchay, if the ox bites him, Yisurim Balav, he will have afflictions. Ba'atai, if the ox kicks him, that means Derech HaKoik and his Damloi. A long journey awaits him, just as the shor spreads out his feet, so it symbolizes traveling a Derech HaKoik, a far journey. Rachvai, however, if he rides on the ox in his dream, Oilag Dula, he will ascend to prominence. Says the word, is that so? V'atani, haven't we learned Rachvai Mace? If he rides, he will die. Like Kash, it's not difficult, it depends who's riding on who. If he's riding on the ox, that is a good sign. If the ox is riding on him, that is a bad omen. One sees a donkey in his dream, Yeshua, should anticipate Yeshua's salvation. He'll be ani riding on a donkey. It's referring to Lasad Lavai Mashiach. And one sees a cat in his dream, but Asr they call it Shunra, in the place where they call a cat, they call it Shunra. So what does it mean? Nasis Leishur, no, it will become a good song for him. Shinra, but if they call the cat with the word Shinra, Nasis Leishini Ra, you will have a change for the worse. One sees grapes in his dream. It depends what color. Lavana is if they're white. Bein bezmanan, whether they're in season, bein shlem bezmanan, out of season, yafais, is a good omen. Shchayrais, but if they're black grapes, bezmanan yafais, if they're in their proper season, then it is a good sign. Shloi bezmanan, out of season rais, it is not a good sign. Harais sus b'av m'chalayim, one sees a white horse in his dream. Bein benachas, whether it's calm, bein berod, whether it's running. Yafalai, it is a good sign. Adaim, but if it's a red horse, then it depends. Benachas, if it's calm, yafa, it's a good sign. Berodif, but if he's running away, it is a bad sign. Haray Yishmael b'chalayim, one who sees Yishmael, tefillah nishmas, his tefillah is going to be accepted. It says the Gemara, v'dafki Yishmael ben Avram, only if he sees Yishmael the son of Avram, not every ordinary Arab, avataya ba'amaloi, but not every ordinary Arab. Explain the Farshim, because Yishmael was given the name Yishmael on account of the fact that Shama Keil, it's a Rosh Hashanah, Hashem heard your tefillah, the Malach told Hagar. So the word Yishmael symbolizes acceptance of one's prayers. One sees a camel. Misa Nikaslam Hashemayim. Misa was decreed for him from heaven, and they saved him from death. As Rashi explains, the Gemara explains, Mikra, what is the source for this interpretation? Hashem tells Yaakov, I will go with you to Mitzrayim, and I will also bring you up. Gam olay. Says Rashi, that word gam olay is kar l'nutrikin shal gamal. It sounds like gamal. So we see that gamal symbolizes being saved. Hashem removed your sin, and you will not die. So here too we have gam and loy, gam Hashem loy. So it is like gamal. That gamal means Hashem removed your sin and saved you from death. So in conclusion, in today's Daf, the Gemara began by telling us that sometimes a person will experience a vision which is no more than merely a rendition, a repetition of his daytime experiences, that the Gemara illustrated with the story of the Roman king and the Persian king, that they experienced a vision during their dream which was merely a mirror of what they had dwelled on during the day. The Gemara proceeded with the story of Bar Hedya, who interpreted dreams, and Abaye and Rava came to relate their dreams to him. So to Abaye, who paid him, Bar Hedya interpreted his dreams in a very positive sense. To Rava, who refused to pay him, Bar Hedya gave a very negative interpretation, and he suffered a very grave consequence as a result. The Gemara tells us about Rabbi Shmuel, who interpreted the dreams of the Tztuki very accurately, he was right on, down to the last detail. The Gemara tells us regarding 3 visions of peace: the river, the bird, and the pot. The Gemara tells us that some visions have a dual interpretation, and therefore a person should hasten and say the pasuk, which puts the vision in the proper perspective, in a positive context. The Gemara proceeds to tell us various visions of what they represent, what do they mean. For instance, Deluim, pumpkins, are only shown to a person who is a Yirei Shamayim with all his might. If a person sees Yishmael in a dream, that's indicative of his tefillos being answered. If one sees Pinchas B'Chaloim, that is Pela Nasaloi. That shows that a wonder will occur to him. As let's see inside, Haroya Pinchas B'Chaloim. One who sees Pinchas in a dream, Pela Nasaloi, a wonder will occur to him, as had occurred to Pinchas when he went to kill Zimri. Haroya Pil B'Chaloim. One who sees an elephant, Pelois Nasaloi. Wonders will occur to him, as the word Pil sounds very similar to plois. What if a person sees pilim, elephants? In that case, pila plois nasalei, greater wonders will occur to him. Says the Gemara, is an elephant a good sign? Vatanya, haven't we learned? All animals are a good sign in a dream, except except for an elephant and a monkey. Like Kash, it's not difficult. If it is not saddled, is a loy misarig, then it's not a good sign. But if the elephant is saddled, it is misarig, then indeed it is a good sign.